Hello, welcome back to another episode of Have You Met? And today in our studio we have a very well-known Bharatanatyam dancer, Deepta Sheshadri. Hello, Deepta.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Definitely. So before we start learning about your journey, I just want you to introduce yourself to audience, name, college, or whatever you're doing.
Full background. I'm Deepta Sheshadri. I'm a Bharatanatyam performing artist and a teacher. I grew up in Bangalore and I have been based in Dallas for the last 3.5, 4 years. Before I went into performing arts full time, feels like a past life, but I was a lawyer at some point. I was practicing in India. And then when I moved here, there was always this thought at the back of my mind that I wanted to be in this classical art space and contribute as much as I could. And it felt like limiting my time just to weekends and evenings on weekdays didn't feel sufficient at that time. So I took the plunge into being in this space full time for the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah, that's a little bit about me. I studied and I grew up in Bangalore mostly. And right now my time goes mostly into, I split the time that I work in this field between teaching and my own practice and performance.
Right. So you are a full-time artist now.
Right,
So
yes.
Other than eat, drink, dance, there's nothing else.
Nothing else.
Okay, perfect. That's good to know because we definitely need a full-time artist.
I know that it's possible to do both, but for me personally, I was at a point, it had been going on in my head for a long time, like I was saying. And I found myself at this point where I felt like for me to really fully immerse myself, it was necessary for me to take this step into doing it full time, to give all of my energy, because I have so many goals and visions and dreams. So I felt like to do justice to what I was doing, it was important for me to be in it 100%.
Okay. So what got you into Bharatanatyam?
I think with a lot of youngsters, it was my parents.
Okay.
I think primarily my mother. She also used to learn when she was younger. Of course, I think she didn't pursue it beyond a point. It was a different time. I actually grew up in Delhi for a few years before my parents moved to Bangalore, back in India. So I think I was about 3.5 or 4 maybe. And somebody used to come home to take classes for me.
Okay.
At that time, we didn't think too much about all of this. I mean, my parents put me in a class, I was going, and that's it. And then I shifted to a school. I was learning with somebody in Mrs. Sujata in Delhi. Then we moved to Bangalore when I was about 7 or 8. So that's when I think my formal training kind of started, I mean, in a more structured way. So yeah, to give a short answer, I think it was my parents who got me into the arts.
Yes, and they kept pushing until you self-started.
That's true.
That's nice.
Yeah.
How different was the life as a dancer in India versus as a dancer in US?
Yeah. I think it's a little tough to answer only because I think I have been doing this full time here.
Okay.
More than there. I mean, there I was working. I was working as a lawyer in a corporate setup. So my time was, even though I was a dancer, it was always split between work and dance. So my experience as a performing artist or as a dancer in India was a little different. But yeah, I think a couple of things that I feel are different just based on my experience over the last few years. One, I think there's obviously a lot more happening in India all the time because there's so many more people pursuing the arts in so many different capacities. From teachers to students to organizations promoting the arts, platforms for performances, festivals. There's just so much more going on all the time. So when I moved, I did feel like there was this period when I was not sure what I was doing here, because it takes some time for you to understand the landscape here, how things are a little different, to understand the network that's operating here. But I think I've been fortunate that I met so many people in whether it was other teachers or the community or even all of you.
Yeah.
It's nice to have this network because you feel in that way, I think the positive side of having a smaller community is that you really all know each other. And you're working towards that common goal of making sure that we are continuing to promote our classical arts, even if we are not in India. We're working, maybe I feel sometimes we're working harder to make sure that we don't lose that that touch.
The culture. And
yeah, true.
So did you land in Dallas first or you?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so you came to the right place.
Yes, I was going
Dallas
to say. Yeah.
is becoming the hub for classical art now.
Correct. Yeah. That's why I was saying I was fortunate, because I feel like I've heard of some other people's experiences where they're in smaller towns or there are smaller communities. So even what we have here, they may not have
That's right.
in other parts of the country. But I think Dallas has a lot to offer, and there are so many events happening even here, such that even now we feel like every weekend is booked.
Is booked, yeah. So the number of events happening here, we don't have auditoriums.
Yeah.
So we should build some auditoriums for
specifically for Indian classical arts. Yeah, true.
you are a full-time dancer. Is there anything that you want to share, like, achievements, challenges, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, I think it is. It's not an easy journey because, like I was saying earlier, I think I come from no background in the arts at all. I am the first full-time artist in my family.
Oh,
so there is nobody else. There are a lot of people in my immediate family and extended circles who really love everything to do with classical arts. My parents are also big connoisseurs of Carnatic music. They're always attending concerts, and they support the arts, of course. But I don't think there is anybody else who is pursuing this full-time, at least till now. So sometimes it is met with a lot of skepticism. When I decided to take this path, even till date, a lot of people ask me, are you sure you want to do this? Why don't you want to, do it along with your, whatever, your legal work or anything else on the side? So it takes some time to make people understand that this is what I really want to do, and why I feel like it's important to give it as much time as I can. So it's not easy, I think, because surviving in the arts landscape, for me, I feel like it's not enough for you to be good. You have to do a lot more beyond that to really make yourself known, especially if you don't have somebody backing you. But it is, every time I ask myself if I'm at a crossroads and I feel like, am I doing the right thing? Nothing gives me satisfaction like this. And even just working with one student, if I feel like I'm able to pass on what I have been learning and what training I have received, if I can pass it on to them and they see the value in that, they see the value in continuing to pursue it seriously, that feeling is like, I don't think I can get it from anywhere else.
That reminds me about similar challenges that my team was facing. You want your students to have the exact same thought process and the passion for the art that you have.
Correct. Yeah.
So one way you're saying you have to clone yourself.
Yeah. No, not clone myself maybe, but at least I want them to, because that's something that I value from what I received from my teachers.
Yeah.
So I think it's so important to remember to focus on the art for the sake of the art and forget all the external noise around it.
Yes.
The comparisons or the, everything else. Now, social media is, I think, a boon and a bane sometimes.
Yes.
So yeah.
You are not doing it on the weekends. You're doing it as a 9 to 5 or daily job. I think that makes a huge difference when it comes to art, because you are putting that effort on a day-to-day basis. And as a performing artist or as a guru, what challenges are you facing? Or let me put it in a way, how people like me or my team can help you with some of those challenges?
Yeah. Challenges is like a can of worms. If I open it, I'll probably continue talking for a long time.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, I think some of the things that I keep battling with every day is, how do I make this sustainable for myself? Starting from the smallest of things, like I was saying, one, even to explain to my own family that this is worth my time, or this is definitely something that I should pursue. it is difficult because they also look at it in the same way. Is it even financially sustainable to do this? Can you keep it sustainable for many, many years? If I'm in a corporate setup, there is a structure, there is a path that you follow, or any other kind of professional engagement. You know that you start at a particular level, you work towards a senior level, or you're working through that ladder. You have a structured setup in terms of your pay, in terms of your salary increase, whatever. And even in terms of your growth, you know that there is a path that you can follow. There are other people you can look at and work in that direction. But the arts is it's so subjective. So one person's journey, which is sometimes a good thing, you need not have the same path as somebody else. But that also means that you don't really know whether you're doing the right thing.
Yes.
So that becomes, I think, one of the big challenges when you're doing it by yourself. If you have nobody else backing you, your mother or your father or somebody else is not a guru in the field, or you don't have somebody whose support you can rely on. Of course, your own teachers and your family, and yes, they're all there to support. But of course, at the end of the day, you have to do it yourself. You need to ask the question, is this what I need to be doing? Is this an engagement that I should be taking? Is this a student that I should be teaching? And really go back to that question of why am I doing this?
Yes.
For everything. So you have to chart your own path, which is nice to hear, but it's challenging on a day-to-day basis.
As an artist, your core time is on the art. When you compare with corporate, so they have an accounting department, they have a marketing department, they have different department that is exclusively doing one task.
Right.
But as an artist, you are forced to do all
Everything.
of them.
Yes.
So there is one business side which is generating revenue, and there is an art side which is doing something else. So unless you have experience in both the fields, even if you have experience in both the places, now you have to dedicate some time to non-art
Correct.
task and that admin task, which is, I think, taking away most of your time, because that's not your
core part of your
core,
practice.
right? So if you ask me to, if you want to go file taxes, it might take you 3 days versus practicing a Jati Swaram, which probably will be less than 3 minutes for you.
It's actually a very good point, because that's what I also keep hearing from everybody else in my peer group that I speak to, because we get into this thinking we want to give it 100% time to the art, but actually there are so many challenges that you have to become everything from sometimes even the person directing your own videos is yourself. You have to understand how to place the camera, make good quality content, edit your own videos, create good marketing content, practice, do a lot of administrative tasks in terms of your finances or your taxes or whatever work you're doing with your students. Everything falls on your head. There is only one person handling everything, which is sometimes very, very exhausting, because at times you're like, okay, is this what I wanted to do? I wanted to actually dance more. But sometimes this is part and parcel of it, I know, but it gets quite exhausting. So to your previous question, when you were asking how can people support, maybe creating that ecosystem where we can rely on, if we know, okay, this is a resource that I can use for help with tax and accounts, or this is a resource that I can help with, that I can take help from for photography, videography, editing. I think having that sort of network might help, especially in a place like this where we are away from home. I mean, a home in India, and there are lesser resources that we can rely on. I think having that network specifically for artists might help if we understand who we can reach out to for different things.
So definitely, I think where we are going is we should have a like-minded people team up.
Yeah.
Right. So it could be a photographer, the media team helping you with the content creation and marketing.
Yeah.
Maybe social media marketing team who can collab, maybe makeup artists, and eventually the end game would be every team member is doing what they love.
Yeah.
And that gives you enough time to rehearse, practice, plan some very creative productions.
True.
Including musicians and accompanying artists.
Yeah. Yeah, I think having that resource, if somebody has done it before and we can rely on their support to understand where to go, which direction to go, And like you said, having that community of like-minded people who are ready to help each other out. This is, if I say this is a strength that I have and you can utilize my time for ABCD thing, and somebody else says, I have this particular skill set, or I have somebody who can do this for you. So immediately, you can put one and one together and you can create something.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point. Again, it goes back to you doing this on a everyday basis rather than doing it on weekend.
Yeah.
Because that what opens up a lot of opportunities. So like, for instance, we are doing this interview on a Monday evening.
Yeah.
Which means we took time.
Yeah.
Instead of watching TV, instead of doing something, we took time to meet and we said, okay, let's collab and bring out something.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll also find more such, team to help art and artists.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you for amplifying the voice, because sometimes I discuss all of these things with my peer group, or a lot of times it is my husband who is constantly hearing all the challenges that I'm going through. Of course, he offers his own solutions, but I think it takes an understanding of somebody who also has that access to the arts space,
Yes.
to know what kind of change you can actually bring. So thank you for doing this.
I should thank all my gurus and Arangetram artists who gave this opportunity.
Yeah.
Because without that, I would never know so much about the art. When we were interacting with some of the artists, these were the challenges they were talking about. Because most of the schools have seen, they only do recital. It's very difficult for them to pull off a production.
Yeah.
Or a skit.
Yeah.
So we were discussing and they said that these are the challenges, because it's a one-man army. The guru has to cook, feed, then practice, then get the kids ready, and attendance, and studio rental.
Yeah.
Too many things going on, and they never get a chance. So hopefully, like the way we teamed up, maybe we'll have more team up and we'll take it to the next level.
Yes.
So this is Deepta Sheshadri, our Bharatanatyam Bharatanatyam guru and a full-time dancer and artist. And hopefully we would like to have you more on the show so we can dig deeper. And this time I'm thinking, let's dig deeper into the art itself.
Yes.
And then, this will not only educate my team, but also all the people who wants to know more about this art form.
Definitely. Yeah.
See you next.
Thank you.